logo.
All right, all right, all right. No worries.
Okay, no problem.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you? I'm just going to put your sound up a
I'm
little bit so I
good.
can hear you a bit better. Just letting you know that the video is recording, just so you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool, cool, cool.
It-
How are you doing today? All right.
Yeah, everything is all right.
Oh, good, Wisdom. Good, good. So, we've come together today. Obviously, you've started your new Herbalife business, and we're going to discuss some of your current goals, some of your limitations, and some of the
Mm-hmm.
things that you'd like to see. So before we get started, I just want to talk to you about SMART goals, and I want to hear a little bit about your journey as to what you've done and where you want to go, and basically structure the next 6 weeks according to our little map that we make for our sessions.
Mm. So I have to tell you my goals first, the thing that I want to achieve, right?
What we'll start off with is just a little bit of an icebreaker. We obviously you felt called to come to these sessions. So what was it about it that really just say the top two things that you thought you would gain out of these sessions, and maybe just two things that you're looking to gain in your current career.
Mm. So yeah. The only thing that's all like I'm willing like to gain in this like meeting is to be able, like to gain help consumers, people who are going to buy my products and be able, like to engage with my consumers and find more customers. And this is a Herbalife distribution, so I have to be a distributor and go out and look out for customers,
Hmm.
and be able like to and understand their needs. It's just like putting yourself in someone else's shoes, and seeing things the same way as they do, and it's like cherishing other people, and be able. It's just like marketing. You have to market yourself,
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
something like that. So yeah. This is something that I'm like willing, like to achieve,
So you want
to
to
gain like
work
in this
on aspects on how to market yourself better
to market
and
myself better. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
how to find distribution amongst your community.
Yeah, exactly. And to be able to do that, like with pride,
The way that
and
you do
not be
it matters
ashamed.
to you.
Yeah, yeah, matters to me exactly.
Yeah. I think that's a
Yeah,
very
and
good
not
thing
like it.
because we can win. We can
Mm,
often win, but how we win
yeah,
does matter. Who
how
we
we
step
win.
on to
Yeah,
get there,
exactly.
and that we
Yeah,
can sleep
yeah,
at night,
exactly,
and that we are honoring our
exactly.
own personal code is a huge deal.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. We have to be like dedicated into what we are doing, Yeah,
Okay.
dedication is key. Consistency, that is something that I'm working on, consistency and discipline, you know,
Discipline and consistency is something that you'd like to work on
yeah,
as well.
to work on as well, yeah. Not just only in this business, but like on my daily basis, my like maybe like on my habits that I'm trying to work on. Maybe I want to read, maybe I want to paint more, just like you do.
Mm.
I want to, you know,
So
I want
time
to like
boxing.
to
Time
like,
boxing could be a skill that you feel
yeah,
you could use more in your life,
yeah,
actually time boxing your
yeah,
current activities.
yeah,
Because it's not to say
yeah,
you have to completely cut out your leisure. I mean, we would all just
yeah,
scribble away if we did
yeah,
that. But it's literally
mm,
just about how much time can you actually give that leisure and where can you schedule
mm,
it that it's not
mm,
hindering you. So time boxing is a
mm.
big thing. I think that
Yeah,
is one of
yeah,
the big
yeah, exactly.
skills that you can carry forward in this business and in your
Mm.
life going forward and just gain that skill as well.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So I'm writing notes and I am referring to just some resources on the side. If I do look down, I'm not ignoring you. I'm actually just sort of working on our plan
Mm.
in the background here.
No worries.
Okay, so just to go over a little bit of what I've heard from you, Wisdom. I hear
Mm,
that you are obviously very focused on your career at the moment. That's why we're having
yeah,
sessions. So, in
yeah,
that space, you are looking to gain yourself, grow yourself as a
yeah.
professional. You're also
Mm,
looking to find different ways to distribute yourself, but in the right
mm,
ways. You want to be more known and you want to be seen in a certain way and received by your
yeah.
customers in a certain way.
Mm, mm,
You want to gain the skill of marketing it yourself a bit more.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
You also would like to gain the skill of time boxing.
Yeah,
Through that time boxing, you would like to apply the skills of discipline and consistency.
yeah.
Okay,
Yes, yes, yes.
so you're agreeing with where we are, with the direction that we're going so far.
Yes, 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 I do agree with you.
Okay, perfect. So now I'd like to talk to you a little bit about the SMART goal system. Are you aware at all about the SMART goal system?
No, 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 never heard of smart goal system. Can you please elaborate?
So this is where I'd like you, if you wouldn't mind, listen with your ear, but if you'd like to take a few notes down, you can. I am going to be sending you some resources as we go along. So don't feel that you have to write everything down. I'd rather you be more involved in the actual, a consult than writing a lot, because we'll go over the very important things with resources.
All right, all right.
Okay. So we're talking here about SMART goals. SMART goals are what they really come down to is measurement. So a lot of people say having a goal without a measurement or without a way to measure it is a dream. And there's nothing wrong with dreaming, but the way we turn dreams into reality is by measurement and accuracy. Because in our
Mm,
mind, we can feel sometimes we are meeting or we're not meeting our goals. Meanwhile, we may be overachieving them or underachieving, but in our heads, if we don't measure that, how do we actually tell? Is that something that makes sense to you?
yeah, 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 yeah. It does, yes, exactly.
Okay.
Like we have to meet our goals, yeah.
Definitely, definitely. The same as say you had a goal to achieve um a certain number of marketing clients. If you just said
Mm,
to yourself, I am going to just put everything into this month and I'm just going to do my best and I'm just going to put in all my efforts and I'm going to just see where I fall off. That is obviously
mm,
putting in a lot of good effort, a lot of energy, and it is directed in the right place. But if you
mm,
said to yourself, hey, I'd like to do marketing and I'm looking to specifically get at least 3 to 5 leads this month, good leads,
mm,
then when you don't or do, maybe you get 7, you go, okay, that is awesome. I can now see I can keep this goal, this dream, but now mark it up. I want 10. And let me see, where does that fall short? Or perhaps you only
mm.
got 1 and you got to say, okay, I recognize that. I'm going to mark that and make it a more achievable dream by saying I'm going to achieve 2 really good leads this month and be happy with that. Is that something that makes sense?
Yeah, 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 it does. Thank you.
Perfect. So the SMART system actually stands for acronyms. So acronyms mean like Mary, seashells, seashells. It's just letters that stand for words that have been put together in a way that's easier for us to remember. So SMART is
Mm,
talking about specific. So we have to be
mm,
specific with our goals. So we're going to take that marketing goal and think about a specific way. We could, on the unspecific way, say, oh, I just want more people in my business. I just want to talk to more people. That's not a specific goal, is it, Wisdom?
yeah, it's not.
So could
It's
you
not a
give an
specific goal.
example of what a more specific goal to marketing would be? Just in terms of not how we're going to do it, just a specific goal in
Mm,
terms of, from taking it from a very wide space to narrowing it down.
I think just like you said, like maybe like this month, I would say like this month of September, I would say I want maybe to have, like to achieve, like, or maybe like to gain maybe like five customers.
Exactly.
That is a specific goal.
That
Five customers,
That
yeah,
is definitely, and even it can be not even a number, but say I'd like
yeah,
to I'd like to focus more on, and then you say, okay, Facebook marketing. And that can just make it specific. It doesn't have to be a number, but you are then drawing your attention to the basis of that goal. So it's not just I'm gonna get to people from anywhere, but I'm going to get to people from
mm,
Facebook, or I'm going to get to people from the community group.
yeah,
Do you know what I
mm,
mean? So that
mm,
makes it more
mm,
specific. Or yes,
yeah,
like for example said,
yeah,
I'm going to get 5 people. It's specific, but that's
mm,
more measurable. So that talks more about the
yeah,
later side of the M, where we can then measure that goal by checking, okay, I wanted 5 people, I've got 5 people. Where was I specifically getting those people from? Facebook.
mm. On Facebook, yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so we're
yeah.
now even honing
That
down
is more
further.
specific. Yeah,
Yes, we're honing
yeah,
further on that goal.
yeah.
Okay, so that
Mm,
is what the M is. It is measurable, and you've hit the nail on the head there. Can we measure this goal? Can we say, has it got a measurable space we can say, I hit the mark or I was under the mark?
mm,
Okay, perfect. So the next thing is the goal attainable? Am I going to say, I want 100 people this month?
yeah.
Yes, I'm specific. I want to get them from Facebook, but I want 100 of them. Yes, it's measurable, but is it attainable?
Mm. Attainable, yeah.
And what
It,
happens when we set unattainable goals?
it gets depression, like we
Yes, we've
become
set
depressed,
ourselves up for
you know. Yeah,
disappointment.
because disappointment because we are putting so much pressure on ourselves.
Yes, 100%
Mm.
wisdom. So we need to make sure that when we're setting these
Yeah.
goals, they are attainable. And how do we do that? We do it with our measurements. So maybe the first one we kind of we thumb suck, we go 5. And then after that month, we see,
Mm.
okay, maybe 5 wasn't that attainable. But this month I'm going to go for 2. And how do I know this? Because I was measuring those results.
Mm. Mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Perfect.
exactly.
Now we're going to go on to the R. So we've done the S, the M, the A. Now we're looking at the R in SMART. Are your goals relevant? So a
Mm.
goal can be specific. And I can say, I'm going to go to Checkers. I'm specifically going to Checkers and I'm going to measure the goal. I'm going to find 2 people in Checkers. But now, Checkers is not relevant to our business marketing goal, is it?
Mm. No.
So when we set something that's not relevant, once again, we are
Mm.
setting ourselves up for disappointment. If we said,
Mm.
I'd like to get 5 people, and I'm going to go to the community group, and I'm going to start discussions on Facebook groups or wherever we're specific about, but those things are relevant. Are we going to find our customer there?
Mm. Mm.
Okay. The last thing, and this is very important in SMART goals, the last thing is a time-based session. So I
Yeah.
can say, I want 5 people and I want them from Facebook and I want them to be relevant to my business. But if I don't say I want it in a month or I want it in 3 months, how do we measure? How
Mm.
do we actually find that goal? Is it achievable? No, not if it's not time-based. So we actually have to set a time base. But now it's not
Mm.
about putting pressure on ourselves, wisdom. The time base allows us to reassess.
Mm.
So if you say to yourself, I'd like to get these 5 in a month, and you don't get it, and you realize it wasn't
Mm.
achievable, or attainable at that point, you reassess. You say 2 in a month or 5 in 3 months. And as long as that
Mm,
time frame stays, it's not a matter of you 100% obtaining that goal all the time according to that time base. It's actually about you
mm,
setting goals for that time base.
mm.
So, how do you feel about that SMART goal system? Is that something you feel you could work with?
Yeah, yeah, something that I can work with can be like useful.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah, it
I
can be
agree.
useful.
It's very useful. So, throughout our
Very
goals
useful.
that we are going to try and set now, we're going to try and set goals and we're going to try and look at skills that we want to improve. Obviously, we have spoken about both of
Mm,
these, but doing that,
mm,
we're going to apply the SMART goal system to those so that we can gain skills and gain goals specifically, accurately, and over a time base. Does that sound to people you know and tell them, this is what I'm doing. I want to uplift people. You can run it past me before you send it out. And I think that that would also be a really good way of bringing some leads and some distribution in. Do you agree?
yeah, 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 I do agree. Thank you.
Okay, so we've looked at the budget part of our goal and we've tried to adhere a little bit. Remember what we said about not setting ourselves up for failure, just being realistic
Yeah.
with our goals for the
Mm.
start. It
We
doesn't
also ask
mean that we're
yeah.
not going to get there. We will, but we've got to
Mm,
jump up the
mm,
first 3 steps first before we go to step 5.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to mark down here that we're changing this from 5 Facebook leads in 1 month, and we're going to keep 5. And we're going to say we're looking for 5 marketing leads in 1 month.
Mm,
And we've got a little plan. We're going to make a nice little Canva flyer or video or something using the free resources there. And we're going to send that through to our friends and family. And we're going to do some Gumtree adverts and some classifieds and some business directories. And we're going to start telling the community closest to us and our broader community what we're doing because no one can find you if they don't know what you're doing.
mm.
So I
I
think
do understand.
that is a good first step in this 1 month plan to get these 5 leads. And we're going to touch base next week as to how far you've come through those things. And what the
Mm,
beauty of that is it time boxes and brings in discipline and consistency. So let's move on to
mm.
our second and third goal here. Are you happy to move on?
Yes, yes, I am happy.
All
We
right.
can move on. We can carry on.
So
Thank
discipline and consistency and time
you.
boxing, these two goals are quite linked. So, what are the things that hinder you when you are dealing with your discipline and your consistency? We spoke about one saying that
Mm.
we get a bit disappointed or despondent sometimes.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, yes. Because like putting so much pressure on my side, and want to achieve everything at once. Want to do everything at once. You know,
Okay. And it's
it is.
the pressure that you put on yourself.
Yeah, the pressure. Yeah,
It hinders your discipline and consistency.
yeah.
And what are the things that sometimes help you with discipline and consistency?
Mm, maybe to satisfy my curiosity, like maybe in terms of creating, like an out of that, and maybe because I feel like so happy like when I've done something and I've achieved it, you know.
Okay. So actually achieving
Yeah,
your goals is so
yeah,
nice
achieving
when you
my
actually
goals.
do it. It makes you
So
want to do it more.
yeah, it
So
makes me want to
for
do it
that
more.
positive reinforcement of being
Yeah,
able to do your consistency or
yeah,
your dedication makes you more able to do
yeah.
it.
More. Yeah, exactly.
Okay? And obviously, if you are supported by your people around you, if you're not distractions, I think, so if you're supported and the people around you are allowing you that space to do your work and do what
Yeah,
you need, that is something that supports this goal.
yeah, yeah.
All right. Because these two, goal 3 and 2, are so close, we're just going to jump straight through to time boxing and time management. So I'm going to put that as time boxing and time management because we know they're both very closely linked. So with your time management, what are some of the things that can hinder when you're trying to put something in place and you find that you're not getting there?
Sorry, Bianca,
Sorry, with your time management skill,
with my time management, yeah.
what are some of the things that you find hinder you being able to manage your time correctly?
Maybe I don't want to spend, like sprint. I don't want to spend a lot of time on my phone, and then maybe I don't know, like what time is it, and yeah, just think like that,
Yeah,
and then maybe like there's something that I just want to do, like maybe like on the side, because I have so many like different
distractions.
type of
Distractions are a
distractions,
big thing with time
distractions, yeah,
boxing. Okay, all right.
yeah, it's a
And that's
big,
something
yeah, yeah,
we often
distraction.
battle with, being in this new age, with scrolling, with Facebook.
Mm,
These mechanisms are actually used to become a distraction.
mm,
So that's
mm.
something that
Yeah, social
kind
media.
of being aware of
Mm,
can help as well.
yeah. Mm,
Okay, so be distractions and then sometimes losing track of time altogether, you say. I get that. We almost
yeah.
don't want to know what the time is because we'd rather do this, so we kind of avoid what we have to do.
Mm, yeah.
I do that. It's okay. It's all right. You can admit things to me. I'm not judging you at all. We all have these tendencies. It's called procrastination. It's a huge thing, and people battle
Yeah.
with it a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so don't worry. It's
Yeah.
absolutely no judgment in this space.
All right.
But we have to look at ourselves in the face. We have to look at that shadow part of ourselves to know what it is we need to change.
Mm,
All right. And obviously, being sort of close to time, close to a clock, is something that helps with time boxing quite a bit. Being aware of the time, awareness.
mm.
Still there, wisdom?
Yes, yes. I'm
Okay.
taking notes.
No, no, no,
Yeah.
no problem. I'm just letting you know we've got 10 minutes before our meeting ends. So we're going to finalize these last few goals and
Right.
just work off what we have planned for the next week coming forward. Okay. So
All
awareness
right.
and dedication in terms of making your time frame, sitting in the beginning of the week and planning, these are things that are going to help and support this time boxing goal. Because with
Yeah.
time boxing, we can't just have it happen like this. We actually have to put in the effort. A lot of these things, we have to put in the effort with this.
Yeah.
And that's why
Yes,
I
yes,
asked,
yes.
are these goals very important to you? Because I am going to need you to apply that dedicated and inspired effort into achieving these
Mm.
goals.
This goes, yeah.
Okay, perfect. So let's just run through what we've got here. We've changed our marketing goal slightly to 5 marketing leads in 1 month. We've said we're going to use classifieds and friends and family to get started with this goal for this month. We've time-based,
Yes.
so it is now the 12th of the 9th, and we're hoping by the middle of next month, the 12th of October, which we'll still be in session for, we are hoping to see or
Yes.
be able to measure where we got with those goals. We're going
Yeah.
to use free resources and we're going to use our determination and spirituality to try and not get too down on where we are because we can only start from the bottom and grow upwards. Any effort that you put in
Yeah.
cannot be put to waste. It's the way
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
universe works.
Exactly.
There's no way up but up from here, wisdom. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Now, we're going to have discipline and consistency, and we're going to do our time boxing. So, putting those goals into actual reality, we're going to try and set time aside in our day. We know we've got certain hours that we can set out, and we're going to set out at least 3 to 5 hours a week on this marketing goal. So, I'm going to need from you, as some homework, so to speak, a time boxing example of what a day or a week would look like with some marketing and dedication and consistency. So that dedication and consistency and positive reinforcement is a big deal. And I'd like for you to consider doing some intentional speaking as well. Almost mantras, almost affirmations. I am successful.
Mm.
I will be
Yeah.
successful.
Mm.
All is well. My wealth, my happiness, my health is all on its way to
Mm.
me and is with me. Things like this that we
Mm.
repeat to ourselves every day. I will be where I want to be. I am on my
Mm.
way to getting there. Positive speak.
Mm. Yeah.
And that's how we're going to work with being despondent, working on that pressure. Now, when you feel pressure, wisdom, the natural response is to crumble. But what we can do is use that pressure. So why do we feel stress and pressure?
It's because maybe like we think of loss because like we cannot achieve the things that we want
Yes.
to achieve,
And we get
and
sad and
yeah,
we
it's
get
because of
upset.
loss, yeah,
Yes.
because fear.
Mm. But perhaps we could look at that and say, okay, I'm feeling this pressure because it's something that I really, really want.
Mm.
I'm going to take this and I'm going to spin it. And I'm going to take this
Mm.
disappointment, this pressure, and I'm going to take that energy and I'm going to put it in to that time boxing, into that marketing. Instead of letting those
Mm.
nerves take you over, you take control of that energy and you say, this is the direction I'm putting this. I feel the pressure. I'm using it. I'm using it to help with my dedication, to help with my consistency. I'm not letting it overwhelm me.
Mm.
I'm riding the wave.
Mm.
Does that make sense?
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah,
Okay.
it does.
So we've got goals within our goals and plan within our goals. But basically, we want to find discipline and consistency by trying to work with that pressure that we're feeling, to change those nerves, to change that anxiety into a way that we can
Mm.
use that energy.
Mm.
Maybe going out for a run, maybe using that time to think about why you not where you are and where you could be and how you want to get there, not harping on it for half an hour, but thinking about it and moving on and then achieving that.
Yes, yes.
So remember, you've got a lot of actions you can do here. And when we start to get caught up in our head, the best thing to do is throw ourselves into action. We're worrying, 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 worrying. Well, I've got that Canva thing I can make. I've got Auntie Sue I can talk to. You know, we're gonna do it.
Yes, 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 yes.
Beautiful. Right.
Dedication, yeah.
So your homework for this week after our call, just so we're on the same page, is to work with that pressure, work with that anxiety, using affirmations, intentions, and redirecting that energy. We're going to try and time box a day or a week in your life to include some time to do marketing and lead management. And then we're
Mm.
actually going to put foot to ground by making something in Canva and starting to distribute onto social medias and onto the classifieds.
Yeah.
Perfect. So remember that that marketing goal doesn't have to be done this week. We're working through that goal. The goal is at the end of October, the middle of October. So today,
Yes.
this week, maybe you get to making that Canva. Maybe you start to
Yes.
go through your contacts and see who you could send it to. Maybe you start creating
Yes.
which classifieds, write a list. Which classifieds do you want to be on? We got a plan.
Yes.
Let's jump in. Okay. So at the end of this, I just want
Yes.
to see that we've worked towards some of these goals. I'm not asking that everything be done next week. Okay.
Yes. 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 No worries.
Okay. I'm going to send this on to you on WhatsApp as well, what we've discussed. I'm going to just take some time this evening to write it up so we have a clear view of where we're going. And we're just going to work from here
Mm.
over the next 6 weeks to try and work towards some of these goals and skills.
Yes.
Perfect, Wisdom. Is there anything else that you would like to say before we go, or any questions that you have as we close up?
Um, no, no.
With you about the marketing leads, and we're going to discuss how many leads you managed to get in your 1 month.
Mm. Yeah. So yeah, as I told you yesterday, in 1 month, I have like managed to get about 7 leads, on Facebook, applying
Awesome.
that same, like strategy, the SMART goal strategy, because I was specific, I can, like measure my goal if they are
Mhm.
attainable and all of that. So
Mm.
like I was applying myself fully, I was on Facebook, I was doing this, I was doing my marketing, I was doing all of that,
Lovely. And
consistent on a daily basis.
did you find that you were posting, like was it post? Did you make a Facebook page for your company and then sort of do
Yes.
advertising from there? Is that how you were reaching the people?
Yes, sometimes I will post on my Facebook page. I do have my own Facebook page, it's
Okay.
Coach Wisdom. And then after our first lesson, I decided to create my own Facebook page.
Nice.
So yeah, and then I also post my post. I post my
Okay.
post,
You actually
So
put a little
yeah,
bit of
yeah,
investment in them. But did you see a return
yeah,
on that
yeah.
investment? Obviously,
Yeah,
because
and then I see the return, and as I told you, I think on our third lesson, I told you that I use this money to
yes,
reinvest. The
yes,
profit
yes.
that I make, I just use it, to just boost more, yeah,
Definitely, definitely. That's amazing. So then once
yeah.
you start to get more of an income from that, obviously you'll start to separate that into three parts of
It's three
what you're
parts, yeah.
buying for the products, what you're putting back into your marketing again, and then your profits. So you keep a bit.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. We have to separate it like this. Like I think if you are like a businessman or businesswoman, you have to be able, like to be like so direct, like
Mm,
in your finance, to be able, like to separate them. And this is profit, and then this is money that I'm going to use to buy the products, all of that, But you have to be able to distinguish between profits and and maybe like some money that you can use to buy some other products. You know what I
definitely.
mean?
And also money that you get to keep, because that's money
Yeah, the
that
money.
you start looking at investing either in more
Mm,
assets, more products that you're not selling
yeah,
straight away, or, if it grows over to about 5,000, you can actually literally start thinking about investing. So putting it into an account
investing.
where
Yeah,
you're getting 6%, and I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but it grows. And it's
yeah, I
it's
suppose.
that mentality of like, this is for my business, or this is for
mm,
me to be able to grow while my business is growing.
mm,
You know?
Yeah, yeah, exactly, Bianca. That is perfect.
That's awesome. So the budget was a problem, but we looked at different ways we could reach people. And then by reaching one
Mm,
or two people, we were able to make some money, which allowed us to actually invest in the business more. So our free
yeah.
resources, they are an asset to us because even though they don't cost us money, they can actually make us money.
Mm,
And that's things like Canva and our spreadsheets and our organizational patterns, all of that.
yeah, yeah.
So you might want to, like we discussed, think about creating sub goals for these goals. So we said we had 5 leads in 1 month. And we said a sub goal that we might want to put on next month is to say 5 leads with 2 conversions.
Mm,
And then
yeah.
grading that up again, maybe 3 months ahead or wherever your time frame is. Remember, your measurement is going to be up to what time frame you use. So you're going to use your measurement to say, okay, am I doing this in a month or am I doing this over 3 months to get this goal?
Mm,
And you'll see that by, like, say we said 5 leads in 1 month and we only got one, then we would be like, okay, that's
mm,
unrealistic. It's unattainable. We have to say 5 leads in 3 months. Just
mm,
elongate that period. So you give yourself more time to get what you're looking for, and that's where the measurement comes in. So
yeah.
another goal after that, like we said, could have been I'd like 5 leads, 2 conversions, and the conversions, I'd like them to be worth 500 Rand.
Mm,
And then
mm,
maybe 2 or 3 months down the line,
mm,
5 leads, 3 conversions, 1,000, or it will grade up according to your
yeah,
needs and how you finding the
yeah.
statistics come through.
Yeah. But at least I'm like more specific.
Yes.
Especially when it comes to money. When it comes to money, like I don't know if I have to be like that specific when it comes to money. Yeah.
Well, I think as well as being specific, you've got to know what you're spending and know what you're releasing. So it's important that
Yeah,
you
yeah.
also create a spreadsheet, not just a cold lead spreadsheet, but a spreadsheet that is your incoming income and your expenses. And every month you
Mm,
sort of write down if you buy a product, and at the end of the month you can sum that up and you can see how much you've gained, and that's going to help you with your profit and loss.
yeah, exactly. You have to calculate your profits and loss each and every time. Yeah. Thank you for it.
Yeah, so I think that that will be a task going forward, is just to
Yeah.
not only maintain those leads and keep the idea of who's a hot lead, who's a cool lead, who's an icebox lead, but also this idea of how are those leads actually paying out?
Mm, Oh, like what am I getting out of those leads?
Exactly, because
Yeah.
you want to have a spreadsheet where you've got your potential customers, a spreadsheet where you've got your
Mm,
customers, and another spreadsheet where you've got your actual profit and loss of what assets you're bringing into the business and what you're bringing in.
mm,
Because sometimes it might look like you've made a loss for that month, but really you've brought in a lot of assets for your business, and that means that you can take it further. So sometimes you would look on a quarterly or a yearly base as opposed to just a monthly base, because it's a bigger
mm,
picture. As soon as we're able to gauge the bigger picture, and then you can even start making your goals bigger. Like, what would you like to see from your business at the end of 2025? That's a big,
mm,
big question to sort of think about.
mm,
Sit down and
mm,
what would you like to see from yourself? How is this
mm,
business going to help you grow? Like,
mm,
where do you want to be by 2025? Because
mm,
we've got to just try and shoot for our goals. And we may not always hit that brass ring, but if we shoot for them, we're going to sure as hell get closer than if we just sit.
mm. Yeah, exactly. exactly. And like we have to like to move towards that goal, you
Yeah.
know. You don't have to just sit.
Yes. Amazing. So being thrifty and finding free resources is quite a big asset that you have gained in terms of a skill for your business. Because if you have this belief system that you can only make money by spending money, then it's going to be very difficult for you to continuously make money. Hi, Wisdom, are you still there? Boxing was difficult for you in the beginning and finding the routine was a push. But then you say,
Mm,
as you showed up for yourself, as you followed through, and as you started to see results from this new skill or new mechanism, you
mm,
found it much easier.
mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's become much easier, for me, like, to be able to do all of these things, all of these, like daily routine, like the habits, not just on my business only, but even me, like
Even
personally,
personally, and it makes
as I
because
told
life
you,
is
yeah.
like that. Once we learn a skill, even if we're learning it for business,
Mm,
it we apply it to what
mm.
we've learned, you know.
We apply it, yeah. We apply it, like on our daily basis, I just apply, like the smart goals and the strategy on my like painting, on my poetry, like on all of this. It's
Okay?
something that is like has become a part of me,
That's great.
not just something that is, yeah, yeah.
That's awesome, Wisdom. I'm so glad that that acronym worked so well for you. So, we were talking about another acronym that I'd like to introduce to you, which is our KC.
Mm.
Yes. So
Casey,
basically, we spoke about the two phases of this coaching sessions. And the first phase was to begin to find the goals that you wanted to, begin to find skills that would help you attain those goals, and then sort of learn the different ways that the mechanisms for consistency and for marketing. So basically the things that are going to allow you to meet those goals.
yeah,
And I feel
yeah.
like we've done quite well in obtaining a lot of the directive that we wanted in phase one. So well done for that.
Thank you.
Now, phase two is more about how we're going to self-coach. How do you take,
Yeah, yeah. I think,
yes, yeah, yeah.
yeah, I think that is an interesting part,
So
a
it's
hard part, but an interesting.
it is hard, but it's when we challenge ourselves in life is when we grow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly. When we challenge ourselves is when we grow. Yeah.
You can see that from our muscles. Like if you go to the gym and you just walk on the treadmill and you go to the sauna and you don't apply that challenge where your muscles are actively tearing and regrowing and tearing and regrowing, going through that pain, going through that change, of form, literally then you won't see the growth. And the similar thing can happen in life. If you stay within your comfort zones, if you avoid all change, if you avoid danger, you're going to find a stagnance.
Mm.
And
Yeah, so like we don't have to be afraid to just jump. We
yes,
have to jump, to
you have
take
to jump,
risk
but
in
you,
life.
you, you always try and make good choices though. So
Yeah,
obviously, you don't jump just because somebody else told you to jump. You jump because it's aligned with
mm.
your core values and it works for
With your
you.
core values,
Yeah. And
it's
you
best for
also
you.
jump because you think it's a good choice. You are
It's a
going
good
to make
choice.
choices that work for you, not for others, but for you.
Mm. Mm, 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 mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So the same life skills and the same way like you've basically said it, you're using those SMART goals to apply to your painting, to apply to your personal life. You're using some of the skills that you've gained to spread this knowledge and this type of reinforcement through through the other areas of your life.
Mm. Yeah.
And that is basically phase two. That is how you self-coach.
That is how I self-coach.
That is how you self-coach by
Yeah.
remembering the different skills that you've gained and
Ah,
applying them,
yeah,
yes, to different
yeah,
aspects and also
yeah,
learning new skills along the way.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, like when you think about it, like you didn't push me, like to paint, to write poetry, like using the smart codes. The only thing that you did is just push me, like to apply, like this, like strategy or smart codes on my business. But I did that on my own. So this is like a self coach
It's
because
self-coaching.
nobody was
It's
pushing me.
exactly it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
self
it's exactly
coaching.
it. Well done.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see it now.
So remembering that it's important to give ourselves positive reinforcement or positive consequences.
Yeah,
So, for
yeah,
example, when we know we're going to do something wrong, we know there's going to be a consequence. And we kind of fear that, sometimes even have anxiety around that consequence. Is that a feeling that you can relate to?
yeah, exactly, exactly. I think like each and everything, like in life has some disadvantages and advantages, you know. And sometimes when you jump, you're just like, scared of the disadvantages, and then you just ended up not jumping at all, ended up not
Yeah.
doing this risk,
Yeah.
not doing this goal, not pushing yourself enough. I think that is something that has been a challenge, to so many people, even me, including me.
So, what you've got to try and keep an eye out for is these positive consequences. And an example of that is
Mm,
you applying the SMART goal to your painting. So
mm,
you had a positive consequence because you learned something, and without somebody telling you to do it, you applied it to a
mm.
different aspect of your life.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like it has to come inside of you. You don't have, like to allow any like external force, like to control you, your inner self.
Exactly. So, but
Yeah.
what I want to alliterate is that if we don't keep an eye out for these things where we recognize our behavior is changing, then we're not allowing ourselves to even see those positive consequences coming into our life.
Mm. If we don't allow ourselves to see that our behavior is changing, then
Exactly.
we like
We don't
mm,
realize we're working,
we
and
don't
we
realize.
need to see that. We need to see, oh, look, there was a result there and I didn't even try. Oh, wow, that's quite a cool positive consequence, you
Mm,
know?
mm,
So
mm.
just being
Yeah,
mindful and
yeah. But,
intentional. Yeah.
yeah,
It's not the right
yeah,
attitude. It's about
yeah.
taking it slow. It's about taking it one step at a time and building yourself up
Mm,
like a brick house.
mm.
It's not a
Yeah,
rush,
yeah, yeah.
and it's about how you do it as opposed to how quickly you do it.
Mm. Yeah. But I think, like time sometimes fool us. Sometimes I just believe, one of the things Albert Einstein said that time is an illusion, because sometimes time can fool us, Uh, That's it. I don't want to be like, maybe I don't want to reach, like 25 years of age, like still stuck, like in this space, and then our business is still just like this, just like this. You just mention, like things in,
Time
you know what
is
I mean?
time is time is a construct. So we have this
Yeah.
idea of linear time where a day starts and a day ends, a life starts and a life ends. And a lot of people spend their life literally just watching their time go by because we've got this
Yeah,
construct that talks about a number. But really, wisdom, we have an experience here on this earth, and we don't know how long we each have.
yeah, eh,
And it's not so
yeah,
much
yeah.
about evaluating where you are on that timeline, so much as
Mm,
your experiences on this earth in that timeline,
mm, mm,
or your
mm,
opportunities to get to experience things that you want in your life.
mm, mm,
So it can
mm,
be
mm,
very
mm.
daunting to feel we are getting older or to feel that time is slipping by and we
Yeah,
don't have enough of it.
yeah,
But
yeah.
that is a mentality that you've adopted. We need to be grateful for this time that we have, and we need to just do the most that we can with it. Because when we come from an expectational place of, I need to have a lot of time and I need to live till I'm 80 and I deserve and I, that isn't the right space to be living from, in my opinion. We need to be
Mm,
grateful that we
mm,
have this life and we have these experiences and we have these relationships and these opportunities to explore things in our life. And
mm,
we don't need to focus on the fact that it's going to end. We need to focus on the fact that
mm,
it's happening.
mm. And I think that's also, like, goes back to what we talked about the other day, like being present, you know.
Very much so. The more you're
Yeah,
present in this life, the more you get to experience it, or it does just flow by
yeah,
and you're not in it, you're on top of it.
yeah, on top of it, yeah, you're just living it in the moment.
That's it. And, there's nothing wrong with being in the moment, but being present in the moment is just living intentionally, just noticing the smells around you, the sounds, the people, um, just being there with yourself, noticing your breath. All of that is being intentionally living
Yeah,
and
but
being
yeah,
present.
but yeah, but like when like when you ask like that, what about your goal? Maybe like when do you think about your goal? When you are just mindful, when you have, like mastered, like mindfulness. What about your goal? You know,
But
don't you think about your goal,
just
during the
because we're
day?
not,
Maybe find some time. Yeah.
so just because we aren't living from a place of expectation doesn't mean that we don't get things. We still know that we have the right to experience things on this earth, and we still have
Mm,
that opportunity to push and to drive. But it's just this idea of not focusing on the end, but rather on the journey.
mm, mm.
So have
Yeah,
those
yeah,
goals
yeah,
and
yeah.
live your life and enjoy it and understand that you are getting older and that there is a limit to your time because that's what makes it precious. But at the same time,
Yeah.
don't focus on the end result. Focus on the journey, on how you're getting there, on the people that you're affecting and the relationships you get to enjoy, the experiences you're having throughout those goals.
Mm, mm. Like when you think about it, that's, like one day your life is going to end. It's so painful when you think about it. But then you think about about something there that you have to, like to enjoy this life now, not tomorrow, just now, not the present moment. These experiences is what makes life.
It's very much so. It's the same as that yin and yang. Like you cannot experience the good without knowing the bad. And
Yeah,
the preciousness of life is only precious because it ends.
yeah,
Life and death
yeah.
walk hand in hand, just like yin and yang.
Mm, yeah, there gotta be a balance.
Yes. So you have to
Mm,
be aware that you're a mortal being that can pass. But at the
mm,
same time, it's not your
mm,
focus. Your focus is on living, not on dying.
yeah. It's in giving, not in, yeah. But that, like death is dead. But your focus is not there, it's on the present moment, it's on living.
And that
I think that is the same goal, maybe like the same strategy that we need to apply on our goals. That that I'm going to get there, maybe I'm going to get that car, I'm going to get this house, going to live into that house. I'm going to get that million. But I have, like to live, at the present moment until I get there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Just focus on the journey,
Focus
not
on the
on
journey.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So the last two acronyms in Casey, they talk about intervening and evaluating. So if you've got this
Yeah.
goal and you're not making it, and you've done your confronting, you've figured out what the goal is that you're battling with, you've made your assessment as to what went right, what went wrong, and you've put in self-helping
Mm,
interventions. You're then going to also look at if you need to actually intervene into that situation. So, how do you need to build those skills up? And from there, what skills do you need to grow and branch off from to gain what you're looking to achieve?
mm, mm.
And
Yeah.
sometimes that can be used in those sub goals. So that is a great example of how we looked at our first goal and we added sub goals to kind of intervene so that we made sure we achieved that main goal.
Yeah. Small steps that can lead us into
Yeah.
that goal.
And then lastly, it's to evaluate. So we talked about positive consequences and negative consequences. And if you have a skill to evaluate the consequences that are showing up in your life, it can help you redirect where you need to go. So if you find, for example, positive behaviors like time boxing going into your painting or being patient with yourself when you're doing poetry, then you can know, okay, I'm heading in a good direction. I'm evaluating that I'm happy. If you're finding negative consequences coming through from your actions, you need to evaluate where do you need to change so that these consequences don't keep coming up in a negative way.
Mm, mm. Yeah. Why do I need to change? Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So remember throughout all of this, it's important that you are kind to yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself. Remember that just you embarking on this journey is a big step. You've already taken the right step to try.
Mm. Yeah. It's better to try, not it's better in order to start doing something rather than not doing it at all.
Remember those atomic habits we were talking about. Small habits
Yeah,
implemented
small habits.
over a long period of time can make a
Mm,
huge difference.
mm. No, I need to get that book.
But
I need to download the
the
PDF.
concept is already inside of you. So you will get the book and you can
Yeah,
learn more about it, but it doesn't mean that right now you can't start applying small good habits in
exactly.
your life.
Yeah.
Because
Mm,
we
mm.
got to be careful of procrastination. When I get this, then I can. If you find
Yeah.
that you're doing that, and that comes down to your assessment. So you got to confront it. Whoa,
Yeah.
confronting this now. Am I putting something in
Mm.
place here so that I don't do what I want to do? I'm going to assess that. I'm going to intervene, and I'm going to evaluate
Even,
how to redo that. And
every,
that is how you coach yourself.
yeah. Yeah, even like maybe like during the week, maybe like you tell yourself that, oh, I cannot start, like doing these habits on Friday. No, man, no, I cannot start on Friday. I have to start on Monday.
Yeah.
So I will wait,
So
up until Monday so I can start doing this thing.
just being mindful of our actions and of our goals. So a measurement would be in that regard to say, like, I didn't start this on Monday, so I took 3 days away from this goal. Like, is that actually
Mm,
something necessary for me to be doing? Let me reevaluate this. Let me intervene. Let me put some sub
mm,
goals in
mm,
here so this is easier for me to
mm,
obtain. So I don't feel
mm,
that I don't want to do it anymore.
mm. Yeah, exactly.
All right, wisdom.
Yeah,
So
exactly. So
before,
like what?
sorry.
So like you think like when it comes to atomic habits, maybe like the time. Maybe think 15 minutes is fine to do something a day. or maybe 30 minutes, just like that.
Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah,
It's about having this idea that you don't need to eat the whole pie to eat. I can have a
yeah.
slice and then I can have another slice tomorrow. It's not like I'm not going to eat because I'm not allowed to eat this whole pie. It's I'm going to take a little
Mm,
bit and kind of work that in throughout my life and then build that up. So then maybe that 30 minutes changes to 60
mm,
and
mm.
maybe the skill itself upgrades into something else, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna look at it like that, like I have to eat the small pie, but I don't like pie, so I would say I have to eat a
You
small
haven't
pizza.
tasted apple crumble pie. That's delicious.
I have to try it
Yeah,
sometime.
apple crumble is a very nice pie. So remember in life that you have your own tastes, you have your own wants and needs. So if something doesn't work for you, you've got to look for an alternative, but apply what
Yeah,
you've
yeah,
learned to these different ways of and skills in your life.
yeah, 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 exactly. It's just different weight, but one meaning.
Yeah, so
Just
there's
like God, some call him Allah, some call him Jehovah, some call him da 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 da.
yeah, but
You
it's the
know,
same
same God.
same concept, yeah. So
Mm.
wisdom, with us closing up now, I'd just like to open the floor to any questions or any thoughts that you might have about this process so far. And yeah.
No question. You answered all my question yesterday, fortunately. So yeah. Just thank you, just, you have to keep some promises to myself that I'm going to keep, like on being persistent, in discipline and self-coach myself,
Mm.
you know,
I think
and
it's
self-respect.
self-respect, yes, and just honoring your dreams and your emotions, you know. It's important
Yeah.
to know that you
Mm,
have goals, and without
mm.
a plan to achieve those goals, it's just a dream. And there's nothing wrong with having a dream, but
Definitely.
it's when we apply these SMART goals and sub goals and we assess and we intervene with ourselves and we challenge ourselves that we grow the most.
Mm,
We learn to self-coach.
mm. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, wisdom. Thank you very much for this time and for this
Mm.
experience. I've really appreciated how you've applied yourself, and it's been wonderful to see the results and to journey along with you.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. My my notebook is full of notes.
That's good. Hopefully, it keeps getting full. So don't give up
Yeah.
from
Skip.
here.
Yeah.
Okay. And we'll chat again in November. I'll give you a message about later to the mid end of November to have a discussion
Yeah.
about how things are
It's
going.
my birthday. It's my
Oh,
birthday in this month.
okay. What date?
My birthday. 12.
The 12th of November. Okay.
When is your birthday?
My birthday is on the 28th of May.
28th of May.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, I remember you told me you was zodiac sign,
Yes.
the star sign, but you didn't tell me when is your birthday. You only told me the star sign.
Yes, the Gemini.
Gemini.